Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. Welcome back to the fourth round of the VMS Le Mans Ultimate Championship as we head over to the United Arab Emirates for Qatar here for the Platinum Split. My name is Chris Buxton. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. Ed Hunter is unfortunately feeling a little bit unwell, so he will not be joining us tonight. But we head over to this. Look at this. The elevation may not be, maybe non-existent according to the map. I love these maps. Thank you very much, for producing this beautiful map of this very twisty, very challenging circuit that await our drivers tonight. Joining me in the commentary box, I'm very happy to say, a newcomer to these bars, it's Stevie Coleman. Stevie, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Good evening, Chris.
Very glad. Excuse me. Very glad to have you. Now, we are just coming towards the end of the practice session, so this is not qualifying. It's just for people to get their eye in, make sure their cars are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not like that, Leon Band in the Porsche. But now he was in the Lamborghini at the beginning of the season. He has switched to the Porsche. I'm going to make that note because I will forget to do it later if I don't. So yeah, Leon is obviously second in the timings as far as practice is concerned, which doesn't carry over to the qualifying. Now then, let's have a talk about the championship standings as we have a look at Thomas Leiden in the Lexus, growling away as he is working his way through the turns. So let's have a look at, as we're looking at a GT3 car, we will talk about the GT3 standings to start with. Mirin Bessier currently has the top of the tree on 52 points, so he has himself an 8-point advantage. And there they are. So, yeah, 8-point advantage over Remy Delorme in the next Aston Martin, but only a single point between Remy and Thomas Leiden. And then it is only another 8 points back to Patrick Schindler in the next of the Lexuses. Lexi, call it as you will. 7 points back is Alexis Herent. And then it is a very close battle between Nicholas Huben in 6th, Leon Band in 7th. And then a trio of Astons all on 16 points, all arguably for 8th, of David Nashkadashvili, Niels Klinkmüller, and Clement Arbois. So very, very hotly contested our GT3 standings, and our hypercar standings are just as hotly contested. I did see the race results. We will come back to that very, very shortly. Fabio Grigoletto by a single point over fellow Ferrari Dario Yamillo. So both the Italians holding that top spot, but with Sven Gilhard's victory at Sebring last time out, that brought him to within 2 points of the back of Dario. Then it is quite a gap, 20 points back to the German of Michi Hoyer. And then again, very hotly contested right behind him, Yanni Simoncic and Arda Ercan on 22. Then Bono House joining the season. He wasn't with us in the opening round of the season, but he's been with us for rounds 2 and 3. So Bono House on 21, then Christian Bonani on 20, Francesco Adamu on 17, and Isaac Gillison holding on to the bottom of the top 10 on 12. Now, we did see one of the race result graphics from last time out. Let's have a look at that. So that is our GT3 race result. Patrick Schindler taking the win just from Alex Herent. So the Lexus leading the field. Alex Herent came home second with Niklas Huben in the Ford. He wasn't the Lamborghini earlier on. The Lambo not proving popular in this season. He switched over to the Mustang as the season's gone on. Mirin Bessier 4th, Leon Band 5th, Remy Delorme 6th, Thomas Leiden 7th, Clement Arbois 8th, William Giovannini getting into the top 10. Once again, not able to, he's had a bit more of a struggle in the Platinum season, since dominating the Gold Split last season out. And Fabrice Sasovichny in the Mercedes rounding out the top 10. Let's have a look at our hypercars. Oh, that's a lovely ground in the background. Thank you, whoever that was. There it is, Sven Gilhard in the Cadillac. Home advantage as they were in Sebring last time out, but with a 7-second gap in the end over Arda Ercan. But Bono House rounding out the podium. Again, hard fought between himself and Yanni Simoncic in the end, with the lead Ferrari in the hands of Bono House, and then Yanni Simoncic in 4th in the BMW. Isaac Gillison, a strong 5th position in the Ferrari. And that Grigoletto really didn't help his championship chances, coming home in 6th. Michi Hoyer 7th, Dario Yamillo 8th, Francesco Adamu 9th, and Jimmy Menard, someone we rather thought would be towards the top end, but hasn't yet found that rhythm and pace rounding out the top 10 last time out. So then, Stevie, you've joined us fairly recently. How are you finding things over in VMS? Welcome to the Platinum Spread for tonight.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been great to join the VMS at the beginning of this championship. Most people can know me from doing the bronze, silver, and the gold. I do the gold with together with Ed as well, but I mostly do the silver and the bronze races on the Friday evening. So it's a pleasure to join you here in the Platinum Split tonight. And I'm very much looking forward to the racing action out on track. As you say, it's a very challenging track for the drivers here, even though there's not a lot of elevation change. So it should give us plenty of action for the rest of the evening. Just want to make a quick note that as usual in the YouTube chat, you can put in your vote on 4 drivers or 3 drivers and a fourth option on who you think will take pole position here tonight. So first LMGT3, of course. So if you have a prediction, put it in there, and we will be able to see who you guys think will take pole position here in the LMGT3 field.
Absolutely so. So the poll is currently set at Marin Bessier, Thomas Leiden, Patrick Schindler, or someone else. So yes, get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the crowd is saying. Now, for those that have not seen one of our races before, we welcome you all. We welcome all those that enjoy motorsport, whether you're a fresh face or a racing ace. You are always welcome here at Virtual Motorsports. So we will have a 25-minute session, almost right as I say that. The timer has begun. Now, as soon as the timer hits 25 minutes, the GT3s will then be released. So there we go. You can see they're getting to the line, but they are not allowed to leave the pit lane until 25 minutes is remaining on the clock. And that you can see they're all very, very keen to get out there and get on with it. I don't blame them at all. And we should now get going. There we go. It's always a worry when the clock ticks down when no one moves. Listen to the different engine noises. Absolutely love it. That is fabulous. Again, lots of beautiful liveries, some questionable liveries out there. Wonderful to see everybody getting out there and getting on with it. As the camera just now looks at Thomas Leiden in the number 69 Lexus. So, the GT3s will have 10 minutes plus whatever time they need to finish their last laps. And in that 5-minute interim between the 20, obviously the session starting and the checkered flag coming out, is when they'll have the time to finish their last laps, and then as soon as 10 minutes is remaining on the clock, is when the hypercars will then be allowed to be let loose. Now that's not a name I recognise. Artem Manisha, welcome to you. I was just thinking, when have we had a Corvette in the fields? So I did see Artem right at the beginning of the queue there, so I'm just going to make a note of you. So welcome to you, Artem Manisha.
I think he is usually as a reserve driver for the Platinum Split, but I recognize his name from I'm going to say the Gold Series. I'm just checking that as we speak. But he is competing in other splits in VMS. That's for sure. But I think it's his first race here at the Platinum.
I believe so. It's not a name I recognize, and certainly the only time I think we've had the Corvette come to take the field. So another mark is introduced to an already very, very diverse field. Very much keen to make their mark, and don't blame you at all. Now, Qatar, very, very different beast to some of the tracks that we've had so far. We were at Sebring last time out, bump central, and very twisty, but very challenging due to the extremely bumpy nature. Here at Qatar, very, very smooth, but again, very twisty. We're riding on board with the Corvette. Well, someone's just shot out of the pit lane there, somewhat out of sync with everybody else. So over to the left-hand side, we'll do a lap with Artem Manisha. Through turn 1, let the car, throw the car over to the right-hand side for turn 2. Again, dab of the brakes, hard to the inside line. And hopefully I think it's a Ferrari that might be ahead of us. Hopefully they'll get out of the way. And then flat out through turn 3, bouncing along the rumble strip. Then it is, again, 2 right-handers, 4 and 5 in very short succession. Hovering in third gear. Then is a very tight braking zone for turn 6, right the way down through the gearbox. That is indeed a Ferrari. That is right. With also a very questionable livery by the look of that.
I think it's one of the Fisher Racing Team Ferraris, if I'm not mistaken, given the purple nature of that car.
So you've got a far better memory than me, but also you commented. Yeah, well done there. So jumping out really off track to get out of the way. As we worked our way through the twisties, turns 7 through to 10. And then it's going to be flat out all the way through this long left-hander. You can see Thomas Leiden in the review screen, just loitering behind the Corvette, picking up a slipstream where he needs it. And then turns 12 and 13 in short order. 14 not far behind. Oh, the Lexus nearly nudging the back of the Corvette there. Well, Arton is not obliged to get out of the way. They're all on a qualifying lap. Arton is as entitled to the track space as anybody else. Yep, Thomas Leiden has backed out of that one. And through the final turn then, where many a virtual lap has been destroyed. And through the line, we'll now start to see the tower being filled. 15 of our GT3s with us. Fabulous to see. Thomas Leiden, we saw his lap get a little bit compromised. There's William Giovannini in the number 25 Aston Martin. He's the gold split champion from Qatar eSports. Yuha Makiyupi was in the bright yellow Mustang last season. Now he's in the number 58 Lexus. As the times are now starting to populate the board. There's that currently has the top of the tree at the moment. There's that. I've forgotten who. Patrick Schindler. Yes, this is the livery that I question every single time. And it's those smiley faces. Again, they always make me chuckle. The smiley faces get me every single time. Patrick!
That is a great livery, though. And he's quick as well with that. So it's a purple sector 1 from him. So the smileys on his car are giving him some extra pace here at Qatar.
Yes, very, very true. Riding on board then. It makes a wonderful noise, but it still looks rather bizarre. Working the way through the twisties now, coming down towards turn 10. Uses as much of the track as you dare. Leon Berndt is the first to get a time. First to set the benchmark 1:56.940. Plenty of. Oh, yes, you did it as well. When they are flirting with the track limits there, it's kind of makes you think, oh, that's getting a bit close. I wonder if that's Kalkoff in the purple Ferrari, because I think he joined us last time in Sebring, if I remember.
I think so, yes, because he was in the GT3 field then. So there we go. Good memory.
Yes, it is indeed, Valentin Kalkoff. Swiss flag on the tail then.
I think the Fisher Racing Team is a Swiss team, and they're competing in pretty much every split of VMS with multiple cars. I think it's around 8 cars at this stage, all part of that team.
Very well represented then. I'll make a note of that. Yes, we definitely have seen Valentin Kalkoff before.
Yeah, he scored 6 points last time out in Sebring. So that was P7, P6. If my math is right.
You got me 7. Be P7 because he uses the F1 scoring. There's Leon Berndt, current pole man. He's improved on his time, 1:55.668. So there's a lot of people, but Thomas Leiden, 37,000. But look at William Giovannini. Now, he absolutely dominated the goal split last year and just ran off into the distance last time we were here. He was in BMW then. But wow, that is a cracker. Considering that William Giovannini is not in the top 10 as far as points are concerned, but my goodness, looking to really make a difference. And Klinkmiller as well, up in 4th. Marin Bessier, our current GT3 leader, currently in 5th position. Plenty of time for things to change, of course, but they only have another couple of minutes. As a reminder, they have 15 minutes to start their final laps. As soon as the timer hits 15 minutes, they're not allowed to start a new lap. They must complete the lap they're on. and get out of the way. So then the hypercars, once 10 minutes is remaining, are then released from the field. Now, Steve, I have a question for you. But, well, before I say that, we've just had a new bolt-on set by Thomas Leiden. Only just by 900ths of a second. Patrick Schindler, as we've been talking about it, 2 purple sectors in his lap in the questionably coloured Lexus. 155.432, scraping his nose along the floor. 155.432. Very nice indeed. Now, coming back to what I was saying, Stevie, if you were out there, what would be your machinery of choice? What would you choose from the GT3 field?
Well, at the moment, it seems the Lexus car is by far the most competitive car in the field. We've seen that in the other splits as well, especially around Qatar. The Lexus seems to be performing really well, as Schindler shows us with a professional pole position lap at the moment. However, I am quite fond of the McLaren in terms of the way that it drives. It's not really the quickest out there. I don't think anyone is driving it in the whole championship even. However, I just think it drives and sounds very nice. So that's in terms of that would be my choice. But I think in all-round pace, you would pretty much go for the Lexus at this stage.
We have occasionally seen the McLaren. It is a lesser spotted beast, which as a Brit it makes my heart sink, because I think it's a brilliant car. But if it's not competitive, it's not competitive. Yeah, Asim Minisha is improving on his time currently in the Corvettes. Green 1 and 2, 155.432 is the aimed time. Now, as a reserve driver, you're obviously good enough to be in the split, but not expected to keep up with those that are very familiar with their machinery, have raced, every time that I was going to say every other week, but of course we were on a break week last time. So, not expecting Asim Minisha to keep up with the rest of the pack, but only 7 tenths off of Juha Mäki-Upi, who's, again, no slouch. And there we go. It jumps up to 12th. Well, was 11th. Just been pushed down to 12th with somebody. Oh, Leon Bent getting really squiggly on the way into the pits. But that is because they just clocked that 15 minutes as a lapse. They could have finished their laps, but they chose to park it instead. There is Valentin Kalkov all the way up into 4th in the Ferrari. That's a superb effort in the number 4, but parks it there. Wow, that is absolutely superb. Well played there. Marin Bessier in 7th. Our GT3 championship leader, not the Aston Martin, not proving his friend at the moment.
Well, we saw at the start of the season that the Aston Vantage was chosen widely across all splits, basically, because it was the fastest car at the time. But given the latest BOP changes in LMU, I think it's safe to say that it's no longer the quickest GT3 out there. And well, especially if you scored a lot of points in the early stage of the season, you don't really want to change that car, of course. But right now, it's looking like that the performance is dropping off a bit for Marin Bessier with the Vantage here not going any quicker than P7.
So we will run through the grid when all the qualifying laps are done. But as you can see there, by a 10th and a half, Patrick Schindler. Wow. In the Lexus, in the very, very colourful Lexus. But then just 0.005 of a second separates Leon Bent and Thomas Leiden. My goodness. And then Kalkov up in 4th, Giovannini 5th, Klinkmüller 6th, Bessier 7th, Heron 8th, Delorme 9, again, just a few hundredths separating those two. Shornack, we haven't seen him in the course of the broadcast. I mean, there are 15 cars to look at, so no disrespect to our camera operator, who, again, is wonderful to see Omelette back in control of the cameras. So, who does a wonderful, wonderful job in making, doing various things behind the scenes, not least of which are wonderful track maps. That's opened our stream tonight. So Shornack in 10th, Arbar 11th, Minisha 12th, Rodriguez 13th, and Mäki-Upi last to set a time with Niklas Hubin right at the bottom of the pile. Right, new poll has gone up on the YouTube chat. Who's going to go a hypercar poll? Is it going to be Grigoletto? Is it going to be Michi Hoyer? Or is it going to be Sebring Victor? Sven Gilhead gets your nominations in. Now I'm going to ask the same question again, but of the hypercar field, what would be your machinery of choice, Stevie?
Well, I'm a huge Porsche fan, so I love the Porsche 963. However, it's not the quickest at all. I also love the Valkyrie because of the sound, but once again, not the quickest. So I think I would go for the BMW M Hybrid, which is seemingly a very quick car. We saw that car winning in the Bronze Series 2 days ago around Fuji. It's a very stable car, so I think that compared together with the all-round performance that it has, I think I would go for the BMW M Hybrid at this stage. Although the Cadillac, which has been driven by Sven Geelhoed, I think, as you mentioned, also very competitive. So I think either those two, but at the moment I think it will be the BMW M Hybrid.
Okay. The Ferrari is certainly the one that is at the top of the tree at the moment, but Sven Geelhoed is the one that is looking to upset that particular balance, particularly with his performance last time out. That Cadillac really has come on strong, but only a couple of them. There are not many Cadillacs in this particular championship anyway. Arda Ercan has also been spotted in one. BMWs, Michi Hoyer, Yoni Simoncic are known to be in those. You can hear a lot of people getting impatient and ready to go. So my parental brain just kicked in then. ARFID, if you put an A in the beginning, that's an eating disorder. So I was like, not quite sure what ARFID in this context is meaning. So yeah, that struck me as odd. But again, coming back to sensibility, I do get used to this, Stevie. I will wander off topic quite regularly.
No worries.
So again, the hypercars waiting until 10 minutes are related. I love the fact you can usher all you like. Pitman on the left, Marshall on the left. You can do that all you like, although you're trying to usher people the wrong way. Well, okay, you do you, sir. But yes, the hypercars waiting until 10 minutes is remaining on the clock. That is to ensure that no one class gets any more time than the rest. And away they go. Oh, that's a bit of a slow starting Ferrari at the beginning of the queue there. So it made a few people kind of think about which direction they wanted to go in.
So according to the FIA, the RFID system is a system that reads the serial numbers of the tires as the cars leave the pits and allows the technical team of the FIA and the organizers to know on which tires each of the cars are running during the race itself. So it's used to give us the information pretty much on which tires these cars are running during the race and qualifying.
I see. Thank you very much for that. Now, I've just seen something. The lead car that came out there, driving the number 50 Ferrari, that's Bono House's car. So that is not Bono House. That is in there. So I'm guessing that Bono is not with us tonight. So Giuseppe didn't. No, I don't know. Oh, Bono is with us. So he's not running car number 50 then. With 18 hypercars with us. Oh, even better. What car number are you running? Oh, of course there's two number 50s. Of course there are. Oh dear. I didn't. So Giuseppe. I didn't quite catch the surname. Can we jump back to the lead number 50, please, for a moment, camera lady? There he is.
So Giuseppe De Noia is also from the gold split. He took second in Fuji at the first race and P9 in the second race and DNF'd in both Qatar and Sebring. So not the greatest run from him in the gold series, but now he is driving in the platinum as well. So maybe he can put in a good performance here tonight, hopefully for him.
One is assuming that Giuseppe is from Italy.
I think so, yes.
Not just because he's chosen the Ferrari, but Giuseppe is quite a common as the Italian equivalent of Joe. So it is a relatively common Italian name. Oh, that's a lot of counter steering going on in Ferrari. Unfortunately, this onboard camera angle actually makes it very difficult for us to commentate the lap. If we want to commentate what's going on behind the car, that'd be great. There we go. That's a bit of camera. That, again, not the fault of our camera operators. That's just where the in-car camera is positioned. Thank you, LMU. So we're just coming through turn 6 now, all the way down through the gearbox. These cars really do not like being that slow. No race car likes being slow. They're not built to be going slowly. So running on board then with Giuseppe De Noia. I'm glad you told me how to say that one. So again, I'm somewhat keen to get people's names right. Through turn 10. It's short shifting up to third, then getting the power down. Now, we have been informed that this could be a bit of a tire eater. We could be seeing some strategic thinking, particularly later on in the race when the people are running are a little bit thin on the old rubber. I mean, there's a lot of corners, a lot of high-speed corners as well. So that is perfectly understandable.
Yeah, strategy is going to be a thing to watch out for here tonight, because we saw in the gold races that some of these guys might choose to go for a fuel-saving strategy and not go for a pit stop at all. It is very difficult to do so, but I think one or two drivers might be able to do it. But it's going to be interesting to see how they work it out.
Good to see James Walt with this. Although last time I have his car number is 54, but he's quite clearly 51. Good to see James back with us as well. So, British GT racer, 2019 world fastest gamer. I'm sure he loves being reminded of that at every single opportunity. Of course, he's a British sim racer with a lot of renown, a lot of skill, a lot of speed. And it's great to see that James is with us once again. Oh, Kobe Chan at the top of the timing tree at the moment. De Bueno back in the pits again. Or hasn't left the pit lane at all. Oh, Grigoletto jumps up to the top of the tree, but not by much, by less than a tenth of a second from our Hong Kong driver of Kobe Chan. We were watching James Baldwin come over the line. Ah, there's the Aston. You'll hear an Aston Martin Valkyrie well before you see it, even in a field such as this. Oops, that's someone's just slowing down. I thought that was someone going off the road. There's Sven Geerthout in Cadillac. It's a Victor from last time out. That is so there is Arda Ercan, our Turkish driver, the second of our Cadillacs, chasing our currently second place driver of Kobe Chan. I know what you mean though, Steve. The look of the Aston Martin is also really, really striking. But yeah, that screen there really is nothing like it.
It's such a cool car. I've had the pleasure of hearing this car in real life at the 6 Hours of Spa this year, and well, it sounds like nothing sounds like it. You could hear it all the way across the track, and Spa is a big track, as you might know. So this one, same with the Cadillac, are just monstrous beasts out on track, and it's so cool to see these out on track here.
Not jealous at all. You have no proof. You can't prove it. Not at all. Not one bit.
I'll send you a clip.
Oh, dude, I'd love that. So some people coming back into the pits. They'll probably get the cars reshoed, but the current pole man for our hypercars, Fabio Grigoletto, not by much though, so he's not going to have it all his own way if the time is to believe. And again, the whole field less than 2 seconds top to bottom. Yes, we have got a few yet to set a time. Roland Toth into 11th. There is Giuseppe Di Noia. I think Giuseppe has been back through the pits. You've got to remember that Giuseppe was the first car on track, so
it's his outlap. So yes,
so yeah, he's been through the pits again, and again, only a couple of couple of tenths off the back of Farinelli in the BMW. So again, right out there, right on the pace. God, I dread to think when my lap times would be absolutely horrendous. I would set lap times in the dry that these guys could beat in the wet.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I'm anything else than that. There's a reason I'm doing this and not the driving itself.
Yeah, it's safer for all concerned if I'm in the commentary box rather than the driver's seat. So, absolutely understand that one, Stevie. As a newcomer to the Platinum Split, Giuseppe Di Noia going this way. Where are you? So, and some of the corners, I'm not very good at identifying them from the top shot. That was final turn over the line, and let's see if Giuseppe Di Noia can improve on his time. That sees him currently 1.8 behind that stunning time from Fabio Grigoletto. 38.147 is the current target time. Oh, and that's not what Giuseppe needs. He does not want a face full of Ferrari. Oh, again, we saw when we were riding on board with Giuseppe how he was really fighting the car. And again, the tail just got away from him coming through turn 2. So, yeah, that's already put in 3 tenths down. So, that's not a very happy Ferrari.
No, don't think so. It's not looking all that great in his hands right now.
Marco De Bruyne, 0.004 of a second off Grigoletto. My goodness me. So Marco De Bruyne making our championship leader really, really think about it. And there is the aforementioned Fabio Grigoletto. Oh, was that a Cadillac that just screamed past the camera?
I think it is, yes.
Good God, you hear that from another county. That's not a complaint, by the way. That's a wonderful noise. Oh, what a surprise. It wasn't the Sven Giertner roaring his way past the camera. I will say, though, when it comes to, there's so many positives about Le Mans Ultimate. The noise is absolutely wonderful, particularly from a spectator standpoint. Oh, purple sector 1 for Sven Giertner. So really pressing on and looking to try and climb his way towards the top of the tree. He's got just shy of 0.8 to find. Well, finding 0.8 of a second would put him at the top of the tree for now, but with only a minute to go, it's all or nothing, do or die, feast or famine for our drivers.
Yep, it's looking quick though. It is a purple sector 1, as you said. Now coming up towards the end of sector 2 here, coming through 8 and 9 into the very slow number 10 corner there, sliding just a little bit on the exit. But it's looking rather quick at the moment. I think the timing is right up here. There we go. So he is a little bit down in the second sector, but it could still be an improvement from him. Move him up to, I think, P7 is now, don't know how goes quickest by 10 hundredths of a second even. What is there? So only 14 thousandths of a second separating the top 3 at the moment.
Wow. Goodness me. Ed Hunter in chat, good to see you, sir. Rest well. Hope you get well soon. Now, Luca Thingard, I'm surprised you haven't picked me up for something yet. I've made plenty of mistakes, and you're off your ball, sir. Seventh is where Sven Giertner. Oh, Kobe Chan jumps over the top of the tree, but look at the differences between each time. That is absolutely incredibly close. The Aston Martin Valkyrie at the top of the tree here in Qatar. That is absolutely brilliant. James Baldwin in the throw. Now, he was a little bit late leaving the pit lane for his first lap. So whether that's going to hold him back, and he's still in 6th, in fairness. Only just out of 0.3 off the top of the tree. But that was a big slide that we just saw. That is, absolutely true there, Logie. Very, very close in both categories. Oh, we're on for a fantastic race. That's a broken record statement, because I've said that every race so far this season, and I make no apology for saying it again.
Well, you shouldn't have to, because the top 14, as it stands, is within a second. So it's insanely close here, especially at the top there. So this should set us up very nice for an entertaining race here later on.
Now, people are going to, and again, coming back to the point you were making earlier, Stevie, that people may well be thinking fuel saving, tire saving. No two drivers are likely to do the same strategy, same team. They may well do, but James Baldwin improves up to 5th. Still finds himself just under 0.2 off the top. Kobe Chan's pushing again. It is down in second sector. He has got somebody right ahead of him. That is possibly Arda. That is Arda Chan. It's just ahead of the Aston. So that could well just push, and Arda Chan gets out of the way. It was green in both sectors. Oh, I would never get tired of that noise. No improvement for Kobe Chan. Was he held up in the middle sector? We didn't see it, so we don't know. But either way, it does look like he is going to hold on to that top spot. But both categories, top to bottom, less than 2 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. This is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, this is going to be insane stuff. Very close in both categories, as you say. The top 15, I think, within a second just now in the hypercar class. So very entertaining indeed, with the Valkyrie taking a pole position with that lovely V12 in the back of that. So, well, I don't think I could have picked a better Platinum race to jump in for the first time, it seems like.
Absolutely, sir. And I will say, I will apologize in advance, Stevie. I will have a habit of just running away and not letting you get a word in edgeways. Not meaning to. Ask Ed. I'm a difficult man to shut up.
No worries. I'll just rudely interrupt you, and we'll get it going. No worries.
Yes, so Kobe Chan at the top of the tree. Now, we will run through the grid top to bottom once we transit into race settings, so that we actually have the correct graphic to run through the grid from. So it was an Aston Martin on the top spot for. Yeah, that's possible. That is certainly the first time Kobe Chan has been at the top of the tree in hypercars. But in fairness to Kobe Chan, wasn't with us in the gold split last season, but it's very much hit the ground running, as a number of new drivers have this season in the platinum split. It's again wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see new drivers joining. Joining a lead, joining a split, but when there's some distance off the bottom, it's somewhat unfortunate. But we really have not seen that in VMS, certainly not in the platinum split.
Well, and it's also not a track I would expect the Valkyrie to be quick at. It's very much a high downforce track here with a lot of flowing corners at high speed, and the Valkyrie is well known to be very quick on top speed, but not really in the corners. So very surprising by Kobe Chen.
So there is the grid for the GT3s. So Patrick Schindler in the Lexus holds the top spot, Liam Bent alongside him. Then on row 2 is Tomasz Leiden and Valentin Kalkov. Row 3 is William Giovannini and Niels Klinkmüller. Row 4 is Marin Bessier and Alexis Hunt. And row 5 is Remy Delorme and Elias Shornack. We still haven't got to a second yet behind the leader. And there for row 6 is Clement Arbois and Artur Manisha. That is where we hit to a second. And then Mitchell Rodriguez, Juha Mäki-Jyrki on row 7, with Niklas Huber not setting a time in the qualifying session. Oh no, Jimmy Medard had a game crash during qualifying. That is a huge shame to see. For our hypercars, then Kobe Chan by less than 0.03 of a second from championship leader Fabio Grigoletto have the front row. Bono House and Marco De Buono on row 2, James Baldwin and Janis Simoncic on row 3, Sven Gielhed and Johannes Priest on row 4. That's also a name I'm less familiar with. Didn't get a chance to see Johannes, so welcome to you. And row 5 is Dario Yamillo and Michi Hoyer, rounding out row 5. That's only half a second from the top spot. Row 6, Matteo Bassan and Francesco Damu have row 6. Row 7 is Isaac Gillison and Jimmy Menard. Row 8 is Arda Chan and Roland Toth. And row 9 is Daniele Farinelli and Giuseppe Dinoa. Right, you can hear the roars of the cars now hopefully starting their rolling lap. Yes, they are. So it's only ever a short rolling lap here in LMU. Stevie, would you like to take the race start, sir?
I sure would, yes. Thank you very much. As we are indeed, as you say, making our way to the start of this 1 hour race here in Qatar, is Kobe Chan on pole position, Grigoletto just alongside of him. We should be going green here in just a few moments time. Let's see if everybody can keep it clean once again here. So we now look at the LM GT3 field. There we go then. We go racing. There we go, green here in Qatar, and it's a decent start by Grigoletto there. He's already up the inside, the outside of Kobe Chen, as I say. 3 wide, almost behind them as well. Coming towards turn 1, that's on the inside by Huchi Hoyer. Side-by-side contact there.
Lots of side-by-sides.
Through the gravel as well, but we're all keeping it clean so far. Let's dive up the inside of Grigoletto, and Bono House now in P4 with Di Buono in P4 actually. It's the House in P5, and Baldwin now in P5 as well. So great start by him. Oh, no. Massive contact there.
Huge trouble for our GT3s. Let's see that again. What happened to who? Oh dear, oh dear. Lots of bumping and barging coming through turn 1. Who's coming onto that? Oh no, it's Thomas Leiden. Oh God, a little bit uncomfortable, but no, he didn't spin, I don't think. Yes, he did. No, it's Patrick Schindler. No, Patrick Schindler, our pole man. It's one of many involved in that. So Juha Mäki-Jyrki up into 4th, started at the back. Oh my goodness me, what a stunning start for him. Oh wow, the GT3 field completely shaken up. Juha Mäki-Jyrki looks on the inside line of Niels Klinkmüller. My goodness, I think that's turn 7. Yes, that's turn 7, 8, 9. Yes. They're just coming through now. So, oh, what a complete upheaval for the GT3s. As we look at, there's Manisha in the Corvettes. Trying to,
up into P3.
And there's a McLaren. There's Mitchell Rodriguez. Yes, yes, our sole McLaren. Mitchell Rodriguez has been very loyal to the McLaren. But my goodness me. So no, Kalkov in the Ferrari is retired as a result of the opening start. But look at Leon Bent already 3.5 seconds down the road.
Yeah, insane start by him. I think he was the one who got away cleanly there, one of the few drivers who got away cleanly, as we saw a massive pile up there. Meanwhile, this battle going on. There we go for P2. And this is Bono House, I think, down the inside of multiple cars in one go. Bueno, it is actually on the inside of Simoncic and the Mulo. So I think there was 2 cars in one corner done by him, as Kobi-chan is a second clear up the road already. But it's still very close stuff here, as you can see, multiple cars following each other very closely, but the hybrid cars keeping it a lot cleaner than the GT3 field there. All in one piece for now. But this is already proving out to be a very entertaining race with, well, constant fighting in the opening stages of this race.
Yeah, very, very true indeed. As we look a little bit further down the field, Arla Rochan in the blue Cadillac with Isaac Gillison right behind him. And you got a maroon coloured number 24. The Dutch driver from, I was going to say the Dutch driver from the Netherlands, you don't say. The Dutch driver in the Ferrari was what I was supposed to say. Riding on board with the Cadillac, that's actually Isaac Gillison right alongside. Was briefly with the Cadillac having that inside line. Probably a little burst of virtual energy as well to keep the Cadillac ahead of the chasing Gillison. Johannes Priest right behind.
Yeah, he tried to do a switchback move there on, tried to overtake Erkan there down the inside, but Erkan did a nice switchback move on Isaac Gillison, who's now back into P12, followed by Johannes Price. As you mentioned, it's his first race here as well, but he's the championship leader in the gold split, so he is quite well known there already, taking the lead on a couple of points, 5 points to be precise, and now he's trying his luck out here in the platinum split.
Well, certainly not shy to get his elbows out and mix it with the good and the great. That was who did we just see going through the pit lane then? Giovannini. As William Giovannini is going through the pits in the GT3 field. As we look on the back of Alexis Hunt, staring and bigger one, looking at Alexis Hunt from the tail of Niels Dinkelmüller. 21 Aston. Now the GT field starting to into their rhythm. It's not chaotic for them. Big shame for Kalkov, but wrong place, wrong time can affect anybody. Jimmy Minard's not able to rejoin us after his game crash. Oh, that's a move, is it, for the 97 of Remy Delorme? That's happened to 7th. I did wonder whether he's going to be able to slow it down in time, but he does manage to do so. That is a position wrestled from the Lexus of Juha Mäki-Jypi. And off on his quest then for Marin Bessier. As mentioned in the Aston, was leading the championship, coming into this race, but I mean, I'm not even going to talk about championship positions right now because the whole GT3 field is so heavily shaken up. Although Leon Bent absolutely running off into the distance, so fair play, making the most of a very chaotic start.
Yeah, he is creating a huge gap at the moment. Leon Bent 5 seconds up the road from Shornak, who is still in P2. Also one of the Fisher Racing Team guys. As I say, they're pretty much everywhere with the purple livery. And Artur Manisha on his debut here in a very nice P3. He was one of the few ones who kept it clean through the first lap. He's falling a bit back a little bit though, with Rodriguez in the McLaren in P4, hunting him down just a little bit. And Houben this year, Delorme following quite close. So the gaps are closing down a little bit once again in GT3, with the exception of Leiden, who's 4 seconds behind Abois, and Giovannini, who is over a minute behind Schindler after having to make a pit stop, I think, following some big damage.
Yeah, we saw William Giovannini just exiting the pit lane earlier. Oh, Patrick Schindler on the back of Thomas Leiden, not for the first time in this season, but not used to seeing them down in 12th position. Oh, Patrick is, I think it's fair to say he's keen to get on with it.
I would say so.
Yes, trying to he got into the slipstream and going to pull alongside Thomas Leiden. Thomas knows the deal. He knows that that's a move that's done. He's not trying to defend unreasonably. So that should be a fairly straightforward pass for Patrick Schindler, which it is indeed. That is 12th position. And 3 seconds. Oh, a bit of a chop across there on Thomas Leiden, but well driven from both of them. And Patricic will be able to close in that 3.2 second gap, but he'll push a little bit harder than he would probably like to at this early stage, as we look at Niklas Huben, who didn't set the qualifying time, as a reminder, and he's out in the 5th position chasing Mitchell Rodriguez. We don't often see the McLaren right up there in the top 5, but it's a very welcome sight to see. Now, put yourself in Artem Manish's shoes. This is your first race in the top split, and you've got most of the field right behind you. Oh, big move from Huben on the inside of the McLaren. Sorry, before we get a chance to get your view of that. Mitchell Rodriguez got a little bit quickly coming out of turn 10. As that's Bessier in the Aston looking to make a move on the McLaren. That's very, very close. If there wasn't nudge there, it was fairly inconsequential. Right, coming back to the original point. You're Artem Manisha, first race in the top split, and you've got that many people staring into your rearview mirror. That takes some mental fortitude to deal with that.
I would be so nervous. I'd be just shaking hands and trying to keep it on the road as much as I can. But this is a great start by him, as he started in, I think, it'd be 12. So gained 9 places already in this race with the chaotic start that we had. But I will be just shaking all over and trying to just keep it on the road. And, well, hopefully he has enough pace to keep his position going. Houben does seem very quick as he's pulling away from Rodriguez already. But Manisha, at the moment, he just has to keep it clean, stay focused, and not think about it too much, I would say.
And again, because we don't know what strategies people are running, there will be those that are not pushing for every single millisecond they can find. There are those that are going to be saving tires, saving fuel. We have no idea. Oh, as Marine Bessier gets a little bit too close to the back of Mitchell Rodriguez. Yeah, that got a little bit up close and personal, but no harm, no foul. And the McLaren driver is just kind of trying to probably mind his own business at this point, but fair play to him for, as they're getting all the way up there into the top 5. We look at the Aston pair of Marine Bessier and Remy Delorme, who are the championship leaders currently, but they'll be quite happy about the fact that Thomas Leiden, their next championship rival, is quite the way down. Oh, Rodriguez either left the door open or didn't contest it, but has he got the overlap coming through turn 11? Oh, he does a little bit, but he's not going to have the pace to challenge coming into turn 12, and Remy Delorme had to second guess himself there. We have got a yellow flag out there. I think William Giovannini may have had a problem somewhere. Yep, it is indeed William Giovannini. He's had a problem somewhere. Oh, that's...
Whoa.
I mean, that you that's one way to exit a race in a hurry, I suppose. But you are supposed to leave the session, not try and drive out of the session.
I think he wanted to leave the track himself, but
in a hurry. Oh, and the hypercars are now coming upon our GT3s. But yes, I think it's fair to say William Giovannini has had a technical problem. So again, as such a shame, from good qualifying position, it's all come to nothing for our Gold Split champion.
Yeah, well, you spoke of the championship a little earlier on, as we are on board with the Kobe Chen, who's still in the lead by only 0.4 of a second. There we have Gigoletto in his rearview mirror. The chaotic start has been a blessing in disguise for Bessier, who had a not too great qualifying, but he's now up into P5 ahead of his main rivals once again. So at the moment he would extend his championship lead even. So it is a blessing in disguise for him to start a bit further down, because he would maintain the lead as it is. So I don't think he will be too unhappy with that.
Interesting comment from LJT in chat. No lift and coast for hypercars. Interesting. So if they don't need to do the fuel saving, then they can stay a bit more flat out, as we look on the back of Bonner House looking at James Baldwin, who's looking at Mitchie, or is being stared at by Mitchie Hoyer, who's being stared at by Sven Gilhut. Isaac Gillison not far behind. It's really difficult to kind of get an idea on who's where when you've got such a mixture of hypercars and GT3s all together. But everyone doing a good job in working way through. Mitchie Hoyer got a little bit uncomfortable in the BMW. Whether he intended to try and make a move on James Baldwin or not, we don't quite know. But he kind of turned it into half a move. So starts Niklas Huben in the He can't just vanish, in fairness to the Mustang. If you are the slower car, you have to remain predictable, but it is kind of a bit of give and take on both sides. You do have to remain predictable, but you do have to be sensible. These guys all know the score. They've all done plenty of endurance racing in the past, but there's still that kind of moment, isn't there? Sometimes you get those, either that brief millisecond of indecision that can really have bad outcomes, as Johannes Priest gets his way past in the 805, gets it done and makes it stick.
Yep, nice move, very well done. Well, especially around a track like this, it's very tricky for the hypercars to get the move done nicely around for the GT3 traffic. The difference in speed between the two classes is the highest in the high-speed corner as well, and this track basically is only a high-speed corner, so it's very easy to get caught out there by, as a hypercar by the slower traffic and will make contact or spin or destroy your race any way possible. So these guys not only have to fight one another, they also have to keep it clean with the traffic, which can prove very difficult here.
It'll be James Baldwin that we're riding on board with briefly as we continue to watch the Ferrari working his way through. That's turn 10, and they're just coming through on the back of Michi Hoyer.
So interesting note in the chat that's by Lexi, one of the who's also part of the team of VMS. The top 5 hypercars all have a hard tire on the front left, and the front left is the tire that gets used the most around this track. So they're going for a harder tire there, as you can see in the graphic, with House, Hoyer, Baldwin and Geelhoed all on a full set of mediums. So they might have to change that left front tire during the pit stop and lose a bit more time. Potentially, it's also quicker, of course, to use the mediums instead of a hard tire on the left front. But I would expect them to change that tire out at their pit stop later on in this race.
Good point, well made. Thank you very much for that, LJT, as well. As we are now riding on board with Isaac Gillison, staring at the back of Johannes Price, who just saw make the move a lap or so ago. As he's looking at Arda Erchan, who's trying to make Sven Geelhoed's day a little bit worse. Everybody's kind of minding their own business, just getting into the rhythms or staying in their rhythms now that they've cleared the GT3 field for the first time. No major gaps top to bottom in the hypercar field, but a little bit of a gap Grigoletta to De Bono, second to third, but not much more than that, as we are looking at our championship leader staring at the tail of the pole man, or our champion I should say, as well as our championship leader. And there is Kobe Chan, who, again, you want to talk about someone who's probably quite nervous right now, hasn't led a race this season, has made a great great impact on his first season in the Platinum Split, and now leads the current champion and championship leader. Again, you want to talk about pressure.
Yeah, well, that's probably the most pressure you can get in this race, leading the hypercar class by only 0.8 of a second in a car that I would say on paper is not as quick as the Ferrari that is hunting you down. So it's a great job so far by Kobe Chan, who is still in the lead of this race. Not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting him to drop back a little bit at the start, but so far he's able to keep that car in first place. However, the Valkyrie does consume a lot more fuel and energy, I think, usually compared to the other cars. So potentially he is losing some time in the pit stop later on, but we're gonna have to wait and find out later on as his race progresses. But so far, so good for Kobe Chan. It's very impressive so far.
Wow, well, development in our GT3s, we've lost Klinkmüller and third place in the championship, Thomas Leiden. They are now out of the race. We didn't see the incident that's led to that. We did see a yellow flag earlier on, but didn't see the incident that caused it. Patrick Schinder now completely on his own, following that somewhat unfortunate start, but still pressing on. But oh dear, again, we knew there was going to be a shake-up, or there was highly likely to be a shake-up in the GT3 Championship because of the way that the order's been shuffled around. And Leon Band is making all use of that, running off in the Porsche Indy Sense. Like, oh my God, Nicholas Huben trying to get the inside line. Wasn't quite expecting a move there, but the Ford trying to get one over on the Corvette. Nicholas Huben wanted to really trying to make, he's probably trying to get Marin Bessier off his tail. But yeah, Manisha did nothing wrong there, shut the door, and there was no contact between them. Well driven.
Yeah, well, the Mustang seemingly having a lot of pace around here. He's eager to get by, and no wonder the gap up ahead is already 4 seconds. So Manisha is kind of holding him up right here, which is to be expected, of course. He is usually driving in a bit of a lower split at VMS, but he is still doing a very impressive job here to keep it in P3. But Hoban really eager to get by rather quickly in the Mustang, with Bashir, as you say, the championship leader, following him closely as well. They're at the rear of Hoban. So it's a bit of a desperate move, I have to say, over there by Hoban. But he's getting impatient here, it seems, flashing the lights as well just now. So it's up to him to not get too impatient and just keep it clean and score good points here. Especially with the multiple DNFs already in this race. But just keep it clean and get the moves done as quick as you can.
Absolutely true. And also, Nicholas Ubin could well be seeing the gap that's opening up between Manisha and second place Shornak. He does not want to be falling further behind. Yeah, the flash of the lights from Manisha. Maybe saying hello to us. Yeah, we saw you. And there
Giving
goes
us a little wave.
It's more than likely indicating to Nicholas Ubin, yeah, I'm not going to fight you. There you go. No, as Bessier tried to muscle through as well in the Aston on the inside of turn 1, didn't quite come off. We look at the back, now the back of the Mustang. So Nicholas Ubin then. I mean, fair play to Artem Manisha as reserve driver in this split. So not looking at championship, he's up in a very high position, and recognizing that Nicholas Ubin could well have the a bit more of a pace advantage over the Corvette. So realistically who you're in a battle with. So rather than holding everybody up, decides to let the Mustang go. Doesn't let the Astons go behind, interestingly. But again, not obliged to. That's not under blue flag conditions. That's an on-track position. That's close between Remy Delorme and the tail of Miriam Bessier. Two Astons. They've been locked together all season, these two. So, as they are once again. They're a bit further apart last time in Sebring, but again, holding the top honours in the championship is Miriam Bessier. He's probably just thinking, as long as I keep Remy Delorme behind me, he'll be happy.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Of course, he is leading him in the championship as well, so as long as he finishes ahead of him, he should still extend his lead by a couple of points. So I think for him it's mostly just even more keeping it clean and score points where you can, especially if you're a bit further down the field than you kind of want to. But he is feeling the pressure, I think, especially in the Aston Martin, which is no longer really the quickest car in the GT3 field. Meanwhile, we are on board with Jonas Price, who is his first race here in Platinum, I think, and he's hunting down Arda Ercan in the Cadillac V-Series just up the road, and the Peugeot showing some good pace here as well. He lost a couple of positions at the beginning of this race after qualifying at P7, but he's looking to climb back up a little bit here, following him through the turns 12, 13, 14 complex, now down into 15. There we go. Up towards the final corner on this track, but he is looking quick here. I think he could make up some good places here if he keeps it clean as well, and potentially score some points at debut.
I think that's the first time we've seen the Peugeot as well in this season, at least.
Yeah, he's very quick with it in the gold split, but it's there are only a couple of guys who are using the Peugeot all over the VMS series.
And well, again, worked his way up into the top 10, so. Fair play, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So we continue to watch as we have gone over the third distance marker. 20 minutes gone, 40 remaining. So again, all eyes looking towards the pit lane, particularly for our hypercars. And they cannot run the virtual energy down to less than 1%. It's a very heavy penalty if they do. So they've got to be bearing that in mind. Right now, they may not be thinking about the pit lane, but they're likely to think about it at some stage. Looks like Shornek isn't saving too much. Well, we'll catch up with him a little bit later on, although he was broken away quite well in the GT3 field. Oh, we've lost James Baldwin as well. Well, we've had our first hypercar victim, although Jimmy Menard seems to be parked somewhere at 10 laps down. So James Bulbous has a pair of Ferraris that we've lost from our hypercar field.
Yeah, that's a shame for James because it was his first actual race of this season. He did not participate in the first 3 rounds, but also scoring 0 points here. So any slight, well, if he wanted to make up some places in the championship during the last couple of rounds here, he's not going to be able to tonight, at least, with still 0 points on the board.
Sadly so, as we look a little bit further up the hypercar field, Yuri Simičić and Dario Yamillo. This is a battle for 4th position. Going on between the Slovenian driver and the Italian. Dario had to correct me on his pronunciation of his surname. I'm sure he's had many versions of his surname. I'm pretty sure it's Yamillo, which is not how I was saying it previously. GT3s staying. That's a bit unfortunate for Dario. The Aston did nothing wrong there. Again, the GT3s, the slower class, can't just vanish, nor are they expected, and indeed they are highly discouraged from jumping out of the way. Because the last thing you want to do for the faster class to commit to the move, only for the GT3 to try and get out of the way and jump right into the path that they are occupying. So that's why the slower class are told, stay predictable, stick to your line. The faster classes have the downforce and the power to work their way through. As we are looking at the battle for 12th, that is Francesco Adamu, Giuseppe Di Noia, Matteo Bassan, and right behind our current camera car is Dario Farinelli and also Roland Toth. So 5 cars all arguing for 12th. Oh, that's a dump of virtual energy there from Matteo Bassan. Up into 13th now. Oh, that was a bit of a bump there from Di Noia. Manages to hold on to it though.
Yeah, so we have the 2 Tatum eSports cars now in P13 and P12, it is. Adamu and Bassan, I think, with Di Noia in P14. So the 2 Tatum eSports cars making up some moves as the BMW now goes down the inside as well. That's Farinelli, I think, trying to go for a move on Bassan, Di Noia, excuse me. So Di Noia dropping back a little bit here. He's lost some pace seemingly compared to a lot of these guys. Of course, if you get done one by one car, then it's very easy to lose movement places as well. As now Sven Geelhoed is in the pit lane in the Cadillac, so he is opting for an early stop here tonight. There we go, in the yellow Cadillac. So he's choosing to go very early here, trying to undercut as many cars as possible.
As far as we know, Sven Geelhoed has not been involved in an incident, so this is that's an interesting choice. Before we even hit halfway, this Di Noia alongside with Farinelli. Oops, the Ferrari bounces off the side of the BMW. That's going to wrong foot Farinelli. Oh, he's not having that. Has a look on the inside, a big look on the inside of turn 6. Can't get it down. Roland Toth. Is he going to be able to pick up the pieces? Not quite. The Ferrari remains ahead. Giuseppe Di Noia. Again, perfectly entitled to fight for the spot. As pushed Daniele Farinelli back down into 14th position now with an absolute face full of, that is Rodriguez in the Sol McLaren. Oh, again, side by side. That's Matteo Bassan that is being challenged now by Di Noia. So the newcomer, he couldn't quite. We did an up and under on Bassan.
There we go.
Boxed him in. Boxed him in behind the Corvette, but then ran wide himself. Just about holds onto it. Wow, that's fair play from Di Noia. He's very punchy in this race. And that's brilliant. Oops, someone's gone for a bit of a wander. That would be Niklas Huben. And here comes Farinelli. Caught Matteo Bassan napping there a little bit. And bounces straight up into 13th. But very much, this isn't even in the top 10, but they are fighting for everything they got, quite rightly so, and giving us brilliant racing as a result.
Yeah, they really are. So that's Bassan losing out big time there on both Di Noia and Farinelli, as Farinelli now goes past Di Noia finally in the BMW M Hybrid, and Bassan back into P14 it is. So the Tatum eSports car not very happy there, losing multiple places once again, with Adamu now clearing this battle pretty much for 2.5 seconds up the road. So it really that seems that Di Noia has been the one holding all these guys up at this stage, and the rest of them seemingly having a lot more pace. So he could very well be trying to go to the end here. There we go, he's looking very slow through that corner, or he has damage that we didn't pick up on just yet, because now we have Toth that is in P15 also closing down. So De Noia really is the limiting factor here. I feel like that Ferrari not really working at this stage of the race.
It seems so, unless he's doing some tyre saving. We don't know what the plan is. Kobe Chan, he's getting a lot of Italian breath down his neck from the form of Grigoletto and now Marco De Buono. So the 1 and 14 cars have closed in somewhat on the Hong Kong driver. Although, in me saying that, there is now a second between the race leader and the championship leader. Looking back from the Aston, staring those distinct eyes, distinct lights, I should say, staring back at Kobe Chan. I'm sure Kobe Chan would be quite glad of the fact that there is now a bit of breathing space, but there certainly wasn't a couple of laps ago. But now Grigoletto's got Marco De Buono to contend with. How much are these guys going to fight at this stage? Well, time will tell. But it's not really what Grigoletto wants. He does not want Marco De Buono staring at his tail. They may well both be Tata eSports drivers, but you still don't want to have somebody buzzing around in your mirrors. You want to be getting on with attacking the guy in front. Although Kobe Chan now seems to be getting his foot down a little bit to try and build that gap up further.
Yeah, so he might have just been saving the fuel a little bit there. But as you say, both of the Tatum eSports cars right behind him with a gap of 5 seconds to Simončić at the moment. We've seen some infighting with the Tatum eSports team earlier on, as is Clement Abois making his first pit stop of this race as well, dropping down from P8 in the LMGT3 field. But the Tatum eSports cars, occasionally they do fight one another, so it's always a bit stressful to have another car that close right behind you in a race, even though it is the same team that you're driving for. This battle is also still going on with Johannes Pryce still following the blue and white Cadillac. That's such a good livery as well. That's probably my favorite livery on the Cadillac that's out there. It's so good looking. But Johannes Pryce really impressing here on debut in the Peugeot. Let's say that he moves through the gravel there on the exit of 15, but he is looking really quick here, trying to get the move done on the Cadillac as soon as he can.
Very, very true. We've had a change in the top. There's De Buono. De Buono's gone in. Yeah, he has. So Marco De Buono, overshot his pit box slightly. So change in the top three. Oh, big lock up there for De Noia. Did you manage to slow that down in time? Not entirely certain, but followed in by Roland Toth. So now the hypercars beginning to get their pit stops up. That's roar. That was a very anticlimactic pit lane exit. Marco De Buono flooring it into the pit lane speed limit.
Yeah, I gotta say, the Ferrari it's a great car, of course, but the sound, they're better sounding cars out there, so it always leaves a bit to be desired, especially.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that one, actually. Yeah, I can't argue that. I do. I think I love the sound of all of them. But there are certain cars that do it a little bit more. Marin Bessier brings the Aston Martin in.
I mean, you were saying at the early stages of the qualifying, I think, about the diversity of the field, and that's one of the strong points of WEC and endurance racing in general. I feel like is the insane amount of different manufacturers and cars that you have, and they're all very competitive, especially in NMU, which is very nice to see, and a good job by the game developers themselves that they're bringing so many cars in here that can all fight one another and drive one another, and just it makes for great entertainment for us as well.
Oh, De Noia's retired.
Oh
no, that's a shame. Wonder what we just saw. I wonder if that was speeding in the pit lane penalty. We did see that De Noia was all locked up. It did look like he was locked up over the speed lane, the pit lane speed limit. As a lot of cars have now come into the pit lane for our hypercar contingent. Oh, that's a great shame. De Noia was really, really getting punchy out there, but a great save for Giuseppe De Noia to end the race on the halfway stage. Let's see more of our hypercars coming through the pits as mentioned.
That's the leader. That's Kobe Chan in the pit lane.
Yep, so Dario Yamilo takes over the lead for now.
He's jumped, I think, by BMW.
He has indeed. So Kobe Chan will not resume the lead post when all the pit stops are shaken out. It's Yannick Simončić that has jumped ahead of him. That's a very short stop then for Simic because he was some distance back. Oh, Gillhead! A sliding Cadillac coming through turn 1. Momentum and warm tyres gets the Dutchman up into 10th position. So Kobe Chan's lost another place in the Aston.
Yeah. So as Ed Hunter says in the chat, Simuncic apparently with a very short stop. So he gains a lot of time there on Kobe Chen, who also lost out to both Grigoletto and Di Bueno, I think. So losing at least 4 places in the pit stop there. So it's not what he would have hoped for. Now he's struggling to get the tires back up to temperature, it seems, as he's under pressure by Bono House in P12 right now. So of course, there are still a lot of cars who are yet to make a pit stop, but he's lost that big time here from the lead. So I think he's now in P5, if I can count correctly. I think P5 or P6 at the end of this. So that's not what he would have hoped for.
Well, a big fall then from Kobe Chan, but still plenty of time to go though. As Dario Yamillo is now in Kobe Chan, 5th position once all the pit stops. Oh, big moment there for Grigoletto, as that's Di Bueno that's flown around the outside of him, following a very uncharacteristic mistake from, I was going to say the Italian. They're both Italian, so that sentence wouldn't help. So, unfortunately for him, Dario Yamillo then back underway, and that hands the lead over to Johannes Price. Did he think he was in the lead in this race when he joined it, I wonder?
Well, I sure don't think so that he did in his first race here at the Platinum Split. So, as LGT says in the chat, they think that Kobe Chen might have changed their tires in the pit lane, and the other drivers didn't. So that could be the reason why he's lost so much time there. Now, we have seen this strategy work before. The tires will come back to you a lot in the later stages of this race. He is still on the hard tire on the left front, though, so I'm not really sure if he has. But this could work in the later stages of this race if the other cars ahead have not changed that tire in the pit stop. He is seemingly a bit quicker than the guys up ahead, though. By the way, it's Van Gielhout having a massive undercut there, so he jumped multiple places with the very early pit stop we saw like 10 minutes ago, I think. So that's a great strategy by him at the moment. It's only a matter of time to see if he can actually keep it in that place. I think it's net P4 at the moment. But it's a good job by him with the early pit stop there.
Back to our GT3 contingent as Artem Manisha still fends off the advances of Remy Delorme. Second place in the championship is Remy. So the Porsche is just continuing to stretch the lead to 16 seconds now.
Very impressive.
Absolutely so. And then a couple of seconds gap between this group and Nicholas Hubin in the Ford, but this group, Artem Manisha has had pressure all race long as more of our hypercars come into the pits. So that's going to give the lead, no, not the lead over to Dario Yamillo yet, but that does bring him up into 6th position. Out comes Farinelli and Bassan.
Yeah. Yeah, Manisha now back up to P3 after multiple cars having made their pit stop, I think. But he's still in there. He's still very much in this fight for some good points in the end there. So he's been mostly looking in his rearview mirror, I feel like, during this whole race. But he's been doing a great job in that Corvette, which is not really the fastest car in this game at the moment. Both going through the gravel there. But he's looking very competitive, very nice out there on track in that Corvette. So very impressed by him.
Yeah, absolutely so. I do love it when we see someone take a car that's less popular and do well with it. I'm always a big fan of that. Now, is that Manisha getting out of the way, or is that Manisha taking a defensive posture? No, it's taking a defensive stance. Now, we saw Artem Manisha let Nicholas Hubin go, but has refused to do the same to, or was to, Aston Martin chasing him earlier on. But, bit rough and ready for the Corvette, but that's going to allow the McLaren to come through. Oh, there is Johannes Price that happened upon that battle at the wrong moment. So Remy Delorme, from trying to challenge for 3rd, has been moved down into 5th position. Great move by Mitra Rodriguez, timing that move on the inside line at turn 6. Yes, it was turn 6 to absolute perfection.
Yeah, great fighting here with this switchback there by Delorme, who goes past Rodriguez there, I think, now on the outside of turn 7. I'm just going to quickly note, by the way, that we have lost Sven Geelhoed in this race. It's seemingly a disconnect from him, so the yellow Cadillac is out of this race, apparently, as I look in the chat. So that's a massive shame for him. He had a great strategy going on there, but that's him scoring 0 points here tonight, unfortunately, which is a huge shame, especially with it being a disconnect. So that's a pity.
You never want to see it, but then, big slide there from Rodriguez. The tail of the McLaren getting very, very loose. And that is what is staring into the soul of the McLaren runner. Here's the lights of Remy Delorme. Yeah, you never want to see anybody disconnect or have any kind of technical failure. That is part of sim racing, unfortunately. It can happen to the best of them. Oh, Remy Delorme's coming in. I wondered if he was trying to get on the inside of the McLaren. Thunderous roar of even at low speeds, that Ford sounds wonderful. So
also, the GT3, that's Elias Shornack has also DNF'd. He was running in P2 at some stage, but he's also DNF'd, and that puts Manisha now up into P2. Although that might be because Hoban and Delorme have both pitted. But as a front runner, LMGT3 also out of this race at 20 minutes to go.
Yannick Simicic fends off the advances of Dario Yamilo for currently 5th position. But some of the top 4 have yet to pit as yet, so there's still going to be those that are shuffling around. But where's Kobe Chan all the way down in 9th place and is nearly 4 seconds off the back of Richie Hoyer, so that's another position gone for our once race leader. You did say earlier on, Stevie, that the Aston is not so kind on its fuel tank, so it could be that Kobe Jans had to back off, or maybe that was what caused the longer stop. Apparently Shornack got whacked by a hypercar. That's a great shame if that was the case, but we didn't see it. De Buono is net leader now, with only Price and Gillison yet to see the pit lane. So Marco De Buono, from a very lowly qualifying position, now leads the way, but has got Fabio Grigoletto. Yet again, it's the two for the Italian Ferraris up top, locked in battle. If they fight, that's going to demolish that gap between themselves and Yanni Simicic, although Yanni Simicic has another Italian on his tail, that of Dario Yamilo.
Yeah, the Italians are very busy here tonight, as they're well represented in the Platinum Series here. And Simicic, he's been a bit invisible all evening, to be honest. He's not really been up there, but right now he is keeping Lemulo behind, as well as Huis, who is closing the gap as well. But up front, it is still Johannes Price, who is trying to keep Gillissen behind at the moment. They're both still expected to make a pit stop, of course, which should see De Buono, I think, in the net race lead. But Jonas Simicic really trying to keep that BMW on the road. I did say at the beginning of this race that I would probably pick the BMW. Looking at it right now, I don't think I would, to be honest. I don't think it is the quicker car out there. So it's still a good-looking car. Whoa, there's contact between Manisha and Lumelo there on the inside as he makes his way through. A dive bomb by Bono House as well. Oh, losing there. Lumelo on the exit there. Big slide on the rear of the car. So he is pushing here, trying to catch Simicic and trying to claim P5 from here tonight.
Yeah, but Simicic is closing in on the back of Grigoletto, who in turn is actually falling off the back of his countryman of De Buono. So we are not done with shuffling orders yet. 2/3 of the race has elapsed. Just 20 minutes of it to go. As we ride on board with current 6th place Dario Yamilo. Let's see what he is able to do in these closing stages of the race. Yamilo obviously wanting to get closer to his main championship rival of Fabio Grigoletto. Oops, someone kicking up a fair bit of dust just ahead of us. There's a couple of GT3s, can't quite figure out who that is from that distance. Yanni Simicic has had his mirrors absolutely full of Italian for quite some time. as Arderachan threads his way in between Manisha and Rodriguez, who are now looking at second and third. Well, currently, again, long way behind, nearly 24 seconds behind Leon Bert in just, again, sole Porsche. But the Porsche is just alive here in Qatar. Oh, that's deep for the Corvette. Surely that's an opportunity for the McLaren. And it was indeed. I think Manisha Artem realized that one was done and through when Mitchell Rodriguez up into second place for the McLaren.
Yeah, I also said that the McLaren is not really a popular car in this game, but I'm going to eat those words, I think, because he is up into P2 right now. So very nice performance by the McLaren driver, who is having a strong race. The same can be said for Manisha, of course, in the Corvette. So both of them driving very well. I do think they need to make a pit stop in the end, but we'll see how that goes, as Jonas Price has made his pit stop. He's back into P9, right behind Kobe Chan, who is in P8 after pitting from the lead. So he's lost a huge amount of time there. He is only, I think, 6-7 seconds behind the lead, but it's still losing a lot of places. That's not what he would have hoped for. So we're now just waiting on Gillissen to make a pit stop. Well, the potential strategy of not pitting at all is not worked here at all, it seems like. So everybody is making their pit stops respectively. But Kobe Chan in P8 right now. There we go. We see the virtual energy. So I think it's this is the fuel levels that we see. So I think Gillissen in reality is between 11 and like 15-16%, I think. So he has a couple of laps to go, but it won't be enough to make it to the end. But yeah, Kobe Chan now in P8, losing out big time after pitting from the lead. That's a shame for him.
Kobe Chan has been eating into that gap between himself and Michi Hoyer. Last we looked at it was around about 3 seconds or so. It's now coming up to be less than a second between the Hong Kong driver. I don't know what the correct way to... He was a German driver, someone from Germany. I don't know what the correct vernacular is for someone from Hong Kong. Hong Kongese doesn't sound right to me. So
I'm not really sure either, to be honest.
Yeah, someone I'm sure can correct me. But yeah, Gillissen has gone a very, very long way. So he's looking to do a short stop towards the end. But that's going to bring him out potentially into an absolute almighty great group of hypercars. So that's going to be a fascinating. Not unless he's going to really crawl for these last 15 minutes, but we will see. Let's see what he chooses to do as we look at Yemi Simoncic behind. Dario Muller still behind Yemi Simoncic. Oh, again, a lot of slide there. And there is Gillissen. So went as far as he thought he could. And he comes then. That was a very long way, considering everybody else. Well, most of the hypercar field was in around the halfway stage. A few a little earlier, 3 a little bit later. But that's a long way he's gone. But that's going to hand the lead over to Marco De Bueno.
Yeah, so currently a 1-2 for Tatum eSports. The Tatum train has left the station once again, as both Ferrari drivers are currently 1-2, followed by Simoncic, who out of nowhere pretty much has moved his way up into the podium positions. However, he still has to fend off Umelu and Bono House in P4 and P5. Michi Hoyer is not too far behind in P6 with Kobe Chen right behind him. As you say, he has closed the gap quite significantly, flashing the lights as well. So the Valkyrie is coming back to life a little bit here. And with 14 minutes left to go. Oh, Michi Hoyer goes wide there. Oh. Very aggressive by Michi Hoyer on the defensive. But Kobe Chen wanted to get by as quickly as he can. And the Valkyrie seemingly having a lot more pace in the later stages of this race.
Well, I mean, Michi Hoyer is perfectly entitled to defend the position. He does not have to let Kobe Chan through. But Kobe Chan can flash his lights. It's not he's not putting a lap on him. So yeah, Michi Hoyer's not doing anything wrong. And Kobe Chan bowed out of that. I think he was too high into that corner anyway. But that's going to cost him a lot of time. He's running out of laps to try and make that time back up. Look at that. That cost him well over a second, just that one mistake alone.
Yeah, that's his fight over for now, at least. There's still some time, of course, but it's going to be increasingly more difficult to close the gap and actually overtake him, of course. Closing the gap is one thing, but being able to overtake is a whole other thing, especially around a track like Qatar. So 13 minutes left to go. He's running out of time slowly but surely to close the gap towards the podium. I think if he gets the move done on Michi Hoyer, he could very much close the gap to P4, P5 as well, of course. But it's, well, like I said, pretty much a matter of time if he has enough of that to actually do it. Actually, the gaps all between the top 5 are still very close indeed. I think the biggest gap is between P2 and P3, which is just over 2 seconds. So the whole field pretty much is covered by only a few seconds or a few tenths. So that's very close, even after almost 50 minutes of racing.
Keep an eye as well on the gap between Simoncic and Grigoletto. Grigoleto's falling, is falling off the back. Oh, is he? He was falling off the back of Marco De Buono, but that gap seems to be steady around 1.2 seconds or so, as we see Patrick Schindler just staying out of people's way. There is Simoncic. So I'm keeping an eye on that gap for third place. Well, the potential gap to second position. Although I'm sure Yannis Simoncic would prefer that Dario Miller was still not staring into a soul. Bit of a slide there from the Italian that keeps the Ferrari pointing the right way. Just as I say, the gap has stabilised between the top two. It's now come down a bit. There is a bit of traffic there, as we can see. There is Kobe Chan back on Michi Hoyer's case.
Yeah, just 0.3 of a second.
That is indeed. Patrick Schindler staying out of the way again, on the nose of the Aston Martin. Seems to really attack the apexes quite a bit closer than the BMW. Let's start, finish straight. Surely this is an opportunity then for Kobe Chan to throw it on the inside line of turn 1. There he goes. And I think Michi saw it coming. Didn't try and defend that inside line, but we recognise that he has not got the pace advantage over the Aston. Oops, although had a look at the outside line coming down towards turn 2. But now we really should see Kobe Chan start to build that gap between himself and Michi Hoyer, but does he have enough time to challenge for those top spots? Only time will tell.
Yeah, so as Edward Hunter says in the YouTube chat, the Valkyrie is seemingly very strong on low fuel. It's mostly the high fuel where it's struggling a little bit, so that longer pit stop that he had to make really costing him a lot here, because at the low fuel phases of this race, he's well, pretty much flying all over the track. It's already 7 tenths between him and Michi Hoyer as he makes his way into P6. Also, the gap between P1 and P2, only 5 tenths of a second between De Buono and Grigoletto, the two teammates, I believe. So that could get a bit more exciting as well as we near the end of this race. One small mistake, and at least the teammates passed through.
Someone spam then. I did wonder if I saw someone having a bit of a spin, but I couldn't quite. I saw there was a yellow flag up. I didn't see who it was. Either way, the field continues. Just over 10 minutes remain of this race, and as we've seen all season long, there is fights all over the place. As Mitchell Rodriguez and Artem Manisha still arguing for second position. The Corvette now moves its way past the McLaren. They've been in arm's length of each other all race long, these two, following the somewhat messy start that our GT3 field experienced. But Mitchell Rodriguez will very much enjoy a podium in the McLaren. I'm sure Artem Manisha would enjoy the podium for the Corvette as well. Fair play to you.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very impressed by Manisha. He isn't usually a top runner in the gold split, but over here he is looking very quick indeed. Now, of course, all of these guys still have to make a pit stop, I think, but nonetheless, I do think he is up there in P2 on merit. So I'm very impressed by him. The Corvette is not really the quickest car out there, but he is putting it to good use, getting some good moves down on Rodriguez as well. So great job. That's very impressive.
9 minutes remain. The Buono and the Grigoletto, it's very close together, right behind the battle for second in the GT3s. Then it is Simoncic and Yamila. There's Kobe Chan. My God, he has left Michi Hoyer for dead. He is on the back now of Bunno House. There's the gap between Chan and Michi Hoyer. Nearly 2 seconds between the two. But has the Aston Martin already lost too much time to challenge for the top? And that is our race leader, GT3 leader, Leo Bay. Glad to be a race leader in Porsche, I'm sure. There will be questions asked. And we just saw Rodriguez as well in the McLaren coming in. So, yep, we are seeing pit stop then from our GT3 contingent. Artem Manisha leads the race for our GT3 contingent in the Corvette. Probably isn't going to lead it for long, but does lead it nonetheless.
But, just take a quick screenshot and print it out, hang it over your bed. So
Yeah.
you can be reminded of it all the way through, as we see a move potentially done here by Kobe Chen. He's right up there on Bono House into turns 4 and 5. This is Valkyrie looking very quick here in the later stages of this race, and potentially still eyeing up a podium here in the end. Meanwhile, there's a battle going on, of course, for P1 between Di Bueno and Rigoletto, and Ed Hunter saying in the chat that he hopes that the Tatum lets Di Bueno take the win here. He is 2 seconds off the road at this stage, so I think that's pretty much done at this stage, I think. But of course, Rigoletto is the championship leader, so he's kind of hoping that they'll let Di Bueno take the win here instead of giving the win to Rigoletto to increase his points tally. Would be a good result, of course, for Di Bueno. I think he's yet to score any points this year, if I'm not mistaken. So it would be very nice, of course, if he took his first points with his maiden victory here.
Absolutely, and he's got their own merit as well. He managed to work his way past Fabio Rigoletto and has continued. Well, he's built that gap up to 2 seconds. I think Rigoletto may well have been caught out somewhere. Although it does seem to be really falling back into the clutches of Yeni Simončić. So is Rigoletto in trouble, or is he? Rigoletto's in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. He's defending against Yeni Simončić, so he's acting as rear gunner to Marco Di Bueno. So Marco can have a bit of an easier time running off towards the flag. I mean, if you can have someone as your rear gunner, it may as well be the current champion.
I could think of worse rear gunners, to be honest, but to be honest, I'm not really sure if he is actually just slowing. I'm curious to see if he's actually slowing down or if he does have a problem. Right now, it seems like that he actively slowed down to defend from Simončić, but I didn't really see the gap closing at all, to be honest. So I'm kind of surprised that he did. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out for them. Meanwhile, Kobe Chen has closed the gap once again to Bono House. This has been an ongoing battle between these two guys for a couple of minutes now. He is looking really quick over here, but I think for him, time is just running out a little bit too quick here to get any more moves done.
Yeah, well, it depends if Bono House can close in on this podium battle. If it gets really messy, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, then it's possible, but with only 5 minutes remaining, it's very much an outside charge. We saw Artem Manisha get into the pits as well. He's now down to 4th, which is still a fantastic result for the Corvette in Artem's maiden race in this split. He's got Remy Delorme on his tail again, so we'll see what he does. He defended pretty well against the Aston before and is defending pretty hard against him again to come down into turn 6. So Remy Delorme is going to have to really get his act together to bounce past the Corvette, because Artem's not going to make it easy for him. Had a look on the outside of 7. No dice there.
Well, great defending so far by Manisha, and well, to be honest, I don't blame him at all. This is scoring P4 in his debut would be a very nice result for him. Oh, a bit wide there, especially the one moves down the inside, trying to take a look, but he is not close enough just yet to get the move done. But Manisha, well, as we said multiple times, he's driving really well here, and if I was in that position, I would be defending with everything that I had to get this place here. Through the gravel there as well, so it's getting really rowdy out there at the moment. But at the moment, he is able to keep the car in front. As you see, I think that's Michi Hoyer coming through as well in the hypercar field. So that's the battle for P5, P6 coming through closely. I think Kobe Chen, by the way, has overtaken Bono House for P5.
He has indeed. But I think he has not got enough time to realistically push for a podium, but that's not going to stop him. He's going to look to get that gap down between himself and Dario Yamillo Yemi Simoncic is falling off the back of Grigoletto's round the outside at turn 1. Remy Delorme is trying to hustle the Corvette, but no dice there. Oh, a little bit of an impact between the two. But Remy Delorme then banzais the inside of turn 2 and hustles his way up into 4th position. Penultimate position in the championship is Remy Delorme. No, that's wrong. 2nd position, not penultimate, would be one of the top. So second place in the championship is Remy Delorme. So he's wanting to minimise the points lost between himself and Marin Bessier, who is the next Aston down the road. With only 3 minutes on the clock, I don't think there's going to be a podium challenge for Remy Delorme. I'm keeping an eye on the on that Aston Martin in 5th. He's closed down to within a second of Dario Yumilo. That battle may not be done just yet.
This is going to be very close in the closing stages here with, well, the fight for P3 pretty much up for grabs there. This is the battle for P2 even, captured in 1 frame with 2.5 minutes to go. So insanely close racing as we kind of predicted based on the qualifying results. But nonetheless, these guys providing some great racing action here out on track with Grigoletto out in front and Kobe Chen showing a lot of pace here in the final stages. He could still grab P3 here in the end, I don't think it's impossible for him. You need some luck to do that, of course, but he could still very much score a maiden podium here tonight. You don't want to do that, though, through the graph where he goes, but it's not over yet, I don't think. This is going to be very close.
I mean, even if Kobe Chan finishes where he is, he's painted a very, very good picture for himself. Yeah, got the pole, led for first half of the race. Sadly, his strategy not quite paying off for him as much as he would like, but then has fought his way back up to the position he's now in, as we see Rigoletto working his way past. I think that's Marin Bessier that he is working past. So, and that's the thing, the GT3's just catching some people out at the wrong time. Yeah, Bessier not doing anything wrong. Kobe Jan almost actually getting onto the inside rumble strip just to not be held up. Pause a minute to go, but look at this, an hour's racing and we're only separated by this 2nd to 6th.
I think we're on the the second to last lap here with just a minute to go. I think the leader will cross the line with less than like 10 seconds to go, I think. So this is the second to last lap in this race, and it's still very close. There we can see Kobe Chen right behind Imuelo there in P4. So one small mistake by either of these cars, and that's a traffic there holding him up as well. So one very small mistake and you're losing 3 places easily. It's Imuelo goes a bit wide there, sliding on the exit, and Kobe Chen is trying to get the place here quickly as we move past the McLaren GT3 there on the inside, coming through 12, 13, 14. This might actually be the final lap then, I think, with 10 seconds to go. I think this is final lap.
Kobe Jan! He had the pace but nowhere to use it. It just nudges the back of Dario Yumilo. Has he got the pace now to try and challenge the 28 Ferrari? No, not quite. He's going every which way he can. But your winner, I think that is the big checkered flag, your winner here in Qatar. Yeah, I think people are backing off now. Yeah, it is indeed. Marco De Buono takes the win with a brilliant strategy. Grigoletto in 2nd, Yeni Simoncic third, Dario Yumilo 4th, Kobe Chan in the end beaten back to 5th. But what a race. Your top 5 in the GT3s. Leon Baird was just not challenged all race long in the Porsche. And there he is. Niklas Huben, from not setting a qualifying time, comes home in 2nd position. Marin Bessier in the Aston comes home 3rd. His main championship rival, Remy Delorme, in 4th. And Artem Manisha in the Corvette in 5th. What a race. Yeah,
that's an incredible debut by Manisha, who scores 10 points on his debut. So that moves him up into P10, I think, in the championship, or P11 in the championship as well. But with a dominant victory by Leo Berendt in the GT3 field in the Porsche. He's closed the gap to Thomas Lieden for P3 as well, so he's still up there in a championship fight only, I think 13 points behind Marin Becher, who takes P3 in the end. But it's very close in GT3. Even closer, I think, in Hypercar with Rigoletto taking second. And that is, let's see, Lemula in P4, so he takes 12 points. So that's extended a little bit by 7 points, but it's still very, very close in both classes.
Yeah, absolutely true. And what a way that's really going to shake up the championship for the last few rounds of the season. All bets are off, as far as I'm concerned. That was absolutely brilliant. We haven't even, we already have our Victor waiting to come and chat to us. We haven't even had everybody finish yet. That's absolutely brilliant. There we go.
Also, quick note. Now we have in four rounds, we have in both classes 4 different victors. So 4 different race winners in both classes in 4 races. Insane stuff.
So then, before any comes of Stewart's intervention, Leon Baird takes his maiden win of the season. Nicholas Hubin second, Marin Bessier third, Remy Delorme fourth, Artem Manisha in fifth, Mitchell Rodriguez sixth, Patrick Schindler is seventh, Clement Arbois in eighth, Alexis Herent in ninth, and Juha Mäki-Jupi in 10th. Particular mention as well, Patrick Schindler having to pit very early on and coming home in 7th. We lost in the course of the race Elias Schornack, Niels Klinkmuller, Thomas Leiden, William Giovannini, and Valentin Kalkov. Sadly, not seeing the flag. Let's have a look at our hypercar finishers. Oh, finishers and non-finishers. Marco De Bueno taking the win. Again, brilliant strategy paying off for him. Fabio Grigoletto giving a hand to his countrymen. Brilliantly done. But Yene Simoncic coming home third ahead of a squabbling Dario Yamilo and Kobe Chan, 4th and 5th. Bono House in 6th. Muchi Hoyer 7th. Johannes Price, again, a great work through the field for him in 8th position. Arda Erchan 9th, and Francesco Adamu rounding out the top 10. Matteo Bassan in 11th, Roland Toth in 12th, Daniele Farinelli 13th. We lost in the course of the race. Isaac Gillison, Sven Gilhut, Giuseppe Dinoa, James Walwyn, and Jimmy Manard. A shame to lose those. But we have a very eager, or judging by how early he was in the waiting room, we have a very eager Marco De Bueno ready to come and head to us. And we have his teammate Fabio Grigoletto. But Marco was in the box first, so let's have a chat to him. Marco De Bueno, are you with us?
Yo, guys.
Hello, Marco. Wow, what a race. That was fantastic. I mean, we saw you and Fabio were close together for a while. It looked like he was going to challenge you. You worked his way past him, and then he kind of fell back and acted a bit as your rear gunner. Was that all teamwork, or were you really fighting for that win?
Yeah, finally I win in my territory. But in general, the quali, I did the bad quali, really bad second sector. But the start of the race was in Italian c'è stato un po' di casino. Comunque, in general, the race was good, and the race pace is amazing, especially on the second stint, the part of the second stint, and it's all.
I mean, it was great to see you kind of work your way through the field, and it didn't look like at any point you were able to kind of relax, or was that different for you? You did have a bit of a gap towards the closing stages, but were you always conscious of the field behind you, or was you just purely focusing on what you and Fabio were doing?
From the start, I managed the pace and the car and the tire, and I take the opportunity on the second stint, and I push from the out lap after the pit, and on the last lap of the race.
I gotcha. And it's Spa next time out in 2 weeks. Does that work for you, or is that not one you're looking forward to?
Now after the BUP, Spa and Interlagos for Ferrari is very terrible.
Oh no.
especially Spa. But Interlagos is good, but not at the level from the LMDH cars.
I'm sure you'll do. I'm sure you'll do a great job, and we'll be thoroughly looking forward to it all the same, Marco.
I'll do the best, my best from the last 2 races. We'll see.
Awesome. We look forward to it. Any questions from you, Stevie?
No, I don't think so. Just a big congratulations from me. It was a very nice drive, and we look forward to seeing you in Spa in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, we do. Brilliant stuff. Well done on a very well-deserved victory. Probably overdue as well. Thank you very much, Marco De Bueno.
Thank you, guys.
Right, let's have a chat then with the next man that was in the box, Marco's teammate. Let's have a chat to Fabio Grigoletto. Fabio, are you with us?
Yes. Good evening, guys.
Hello, Fabio. Well, once again, you you were chasing Kobe for quite a while, and then you were chasing Marco for quite a while. So was it all tactical play, or were you really, or were you pushing for that top spot? Talk us through it from your side.
No, the first stint behind Kobe, I was pushing like crazy. Kobe had a crazy pace. He was super fast. And after the pit, he just told me he had a screen freeze. So he stopped on the pit box and couldn't go out. I exited first, but then I was limited by the cut of the game. I was 2.75 at the middle of the race. So I had to let pass Marco to don't risk to lose the time also for him. So we decided to let him pass and take care of the P1 and P2 for Tatum.
Now that's going to give you a bit more of a comfortable gap between Dario and Sven. Surely are you looking towards the championship now, or you only going to worry about that after the checkered flag falls in Interlagos?
No, of course I'm going for the championship, even if the next 2 races are quite bad for the Ferrari, but I'll try to do my best to recover that, let's say, disadvantage, but it's okay. Other car has disadvantage in another track, so let's see what the last race can bring.
You watch, ladies and gentlemen. It's still going to be these two up the top. I'm going to call it now. You watch. I'm sure they're being very, very modest. Any questions from you, Stevie?
No, I don't think so. I'm just going to say that I was very impressed by both of you, Tatum eSports cars, the pace you showed on track. So congratulations on P2. And I look forward to it very much to see your race in Spa in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. See you next time, guys.
Yeah, we very much look forward to it. Thank you very much, Fabio Grigoletto. Now I'm looking forward to speaking to our next guy. He may not be as much looking forward to it, although he has made himself available. It's our hypercar pole man. It is Kobe-chan. Kobe, you with us?
Man, my game froze when I
No.
about to go but I overtake the GT3 and then I just hit him.
No, I mean we were absolutely stunned at the pace from that Valkyrie that you were showing. I said several times during the stream that obviously this is your first season with us, first season in this split. First few races, you were really making an impression, but suddenly tonight it was absolutely incredible.
The BOP for the 1.0 release, I think the Valkyrie got a little bit of kg decreased. So, because the Valkyrie is good on the straight, but bad on the corners and tire wear. So having little kg decreased is really helping a lot.
Right, I was going to say that you've just done a lot of corners, so I guess you really noticed it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Qatar, where you get little of weight reduction, then you gain a lot.
Yeah, sure. So Spa-Francorchamps is next, and there's a lot of corners, particularly high-speed corners in there. Are you looking to be towards the front again in the Aston, or do you?
Absolutely, right. If it doesn't rain.
that's always possible in Spa. Let's be honest.
Please don't rain. Rain in Interlagos is okay. Please don't rain in Spa. We will see. I will keep trying my best.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, Kobe, you've made such a a real impression on this season since you joined us. It's been really brilliant to see. Any questions, Stevie?
Yes, well, first of all, I'm just very impressed with the pace you showed in the Valkyrie. It's a lovely car, of course, to hear, but to see it up the front, it's also very cool. Were you kind of surprised with the pole position as well? Given, as I said, it's not really a track that usually suits the Valkyrie, but you showed great pace in it. So were you a bit surprised with the performance that you had?
Yeah, I think the good thing about although the Qatar track doesn't have a lot of straights, which is very good for the Valkyrie, but also the fact that the Qatar track surface is relatively flat, doesn't have a lot of bumps and curves, so I can make the car very close to the ground and make my suspension hard, so it sticks to the ground very well and stable. So I think that's the key to make my pace very fast.
Yep, so that's good. Of course, with the lesser bumps, the Valkyrie works better, of course. So that's job very well done. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Hey, you're not the only one there, Stevie. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the season closes out for you. Thank you very much, and you're so close to the podium, but again,
if there's one more lap, you see on the last corner, I'm like 0.4 from the two cars ahead. If there's another lap started, I think I can overtake them both in the straight.
We'll have a word. We'll have a word with the flag marshals. We'll steal the checkered flag for you next time.
We'll make it go one more lap next time.
Yeah, one more lap.
Thank you very much, Kobe-chan.
Thank you.
And one more person has made themselves available to us. I'm looking forward to this, actually. We don't often get a chance to speak to some of the GT3s that finish a little bit lower in the field. Michelle Rodriguez, are you with us?
I am here.
Hello, everyone. Hello. So we haven't had a chance to have a chat to you, but you've stuck so loyally to the McLaren. And it is one that is less popular, but I really did think the podium was yours. But yeah, in fairness, you were not far off. So what was it, the track? Is it BOP? What suddenly came good for you tonight?
Just luck. I am not up there at all in pace, but all of a sudden the big crash happened in front of me, and I just could keep it on track, basically. I have the others were fuel saving, which helped me be in pace with them as well. And yeah, of course, the crash in the back, or that was in front at first, it gave me a lot of space in the back, and I was doing my best to just stick on track. So right now, P6 best result, and I'm feeling high as a kite.
Quite rightly so. Quite rightly so. Yeah, we did kind of see it was somewhat of a chaotic start at the beginning of the race. So kind of talk us through it from your side. Was it a kind of just kind of hit and hope, or does it just happen to be a gap that you went into when you got there?
Since I started from basically 2 positions from the back, I had good time towards the collision. So because if I remember correctly, it was in turn 1 and turn 2. And going around turn 1, I see cars spinning around, so I instantly look for gaps. And then on the turning left, there as well, just instantly looking for gaps. And then just try to get through that cleanly and as easily as possible. And then when I came out, I saw where I was, and I was like, "What? Am I P6 already?" Then I was like, "Okay, let's just keep it on track and see what happens."
I mean, you were challenging for P2 at one point, so yeah, that must have been quite an unusual feeling.
Yeah, it was. It was. I was getting stressed towards the end, thinking that I was just telling myself whilst I was driving, keep it on track, keep it on track. Don't get into wrong. Don't get into wrong. Keep it on track, keep it on track. Take it home. So yeah, I'm felt so good. I almost binned it though. Last 2 laps, I think it was. Because the McLaren was for me, it was the rear was sketchy on the fast corners at the last sector. and the rears let go, and I almost spun around, but I managed to save it. And Patrick Schindler was right behind me, like 3 seconds behind me before I spun, and I only lost 1.5 to him. I managed, with help of the hypercars, managed to keep the gap and bring it home.
So, what's Spa like for the McLaren? Is that one you're looking forward to, or is that one you're dreading?
I have no idea. I'm just taking this track by track.
Don't blame you.
I'm just going for it, doing my best to try and get a bit faster and better. So I'm just taking it track by track. And yeah, when I was going into Qatar, I was struggling a lot with the pace. I compared to the other tracks, the other races, I was starting to get 0.7 to 0.8 of a second to pole. I was finding more pace in myself. But then this track came, I wasn't finding pace. I qualified 1.3 off of pole, and I thought I'm not gonna have this pace, and it just turned out. So I'm thinking that in Spa I might be able to get more pace than in Qatar. I just need to keep it more consistent and see what happens.
We look forward to seeing it. You definitely have a mini fan club going on in chat when you get some airtime there, Michelle. Any questions, Stevie?
Yeah, so also for me, congratulations on those points. It was a great drive. If I've done my calculations correct, and of course that's a big if, but if I've done it correctly, you're now 8 points in 12th in the championship, 8 points behind P10. Do you think you can still close that gap with the next 2 races?
Well, let's see. My goal when I started this season was just to try and get into points, and which I did manage today. So hopefully I can get a couple more points to catch up to 10th, or the person in 10th. But we will see what happens. And like I said, just taking race by race, because originally I don't have the pace of these top guys. So I am just doing my best, keeping it clean, and just being happy for every single result I get.
Says the man who's just beaten half of them. So
that is.
We appreciate you taking the time to come and chat to us, Michelle. We don't often get a chance to chat to you, but as our sole McLaren representative in the split, it is great to see. And we wish you luck for the remaining couple of rounds of the season. Thank you very much, Michelle Rodriguez.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that is everybody that has come to make themselves available for tonight. So it's a good time for us to wrap up proceedings. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the race, either live or post-event. Your presence is always welcome. Thank you very much, Stevie Coleman, for standing in for an unwell Ed Hunter. Get well soon, Ed. It's been a great pleasure to have you alongside me, Stevie.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be here. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much for having me.
A great pleasure, good sir. Thank you very much, Omelette, for controlling the stream and pointing the cameras. Always a great pleasure to have you on side. As mentioned, it is we head to Brazil. I mean, he said that's 4 weeks time.
almost.
We are heading to Brazil, just not quite yet. So yes, it's Spa-Francorchamps for the Platinum Split on the 16th of November. But between then and now, there's plenty of racing going on, of which you will get to enjoy the wonderful company of Stevie once more. We've got Interlagos for the gold split on the 9th. We have Sebring for the silver split on the 7th. We have Spa for the bronze split also on the 14th. And we also have the Challenge Series that heads over to Qatar on the 5th. So plenty of racing over the next few weeks. We hope that you will join us for that. Until next time, thank you very much and good night.